Oh, snow.
Go, go, go.
Is it started? Is it started? Hello, hello. I'm Miriam, co-founder and CEO of Keto Chow.
We're getting some dropped frames.
Oh,
anyway, I'm Chris, also co-founder, president, and the technical guy behind Keto Chow. If you're brand new to Keto Chow, it's a nutritionally complete meal designed to make doing keto easy. We also have some electrolyte supplements that are amazing for everyday use and for keeping the dreaded keto flu away.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the little bell icon for updates on all our Keto Chow happenings. These live streams help us be accountable and stay on track. So thanks for joining us on our keto journey.
Okay, I dropped the frame rate. We'll see if that fixes it.
We'll see if the power stays on.
Ugh.
We are having a winter storm right now.
Yes, we are having
Outside.
a winter storm. Okay, it looks like it's trying to catch up. Buffering.
Buffering tonight.
This is apparently our lot in life the last couple days.
Right.
Well, we'll see if GGB says, tell the kids to get off the internet. The problem is
they're not even here. Like, not one.
Nobody's home right now.
Nobody but us.
Literally everybody is gone and it's just
Although
us.
there is a storm when you drive.
It seems like we're back.
Okay.
Oh, hi.
He answered me, even though he was in the middle of performing.
Okay, so it's apparently our thing right now that we have buffering when we start a live stream.
It's okay.
The funny thing, I had it ready to go before.
And nobody's here to take up internet.
Anyway, yeah, there's literally nobody here at the house. So it took us 2 minutes, and apparently it's working. Well, it's like, well, hi, guys.
Long time no see.
Right? So what I wanted to show everybody this evening was this.
Which, see, it's not very bad.
This is outside right now.
It's better than it was a minute ago. It was really blowing.
Okay, now I'm going to close this because I think it might be causing the problem.
Oh, maybe that was it.
Anyway, so it's snowing here. Yeah. Carrie says, "Yay, they're back." Yes, we're back. No plan survived first contact with the enemy. Everybody knows that. Anyway.
Okay. Whatever that means.
Oh, it's a military thing. Anyway, Janice's weather is a bummer. We are getting soaked. See, I like it when it rains here and snows in the mountains.
Yeah, but it never rains here.
No, well, sometimes it does.
Yeah, like 2 times a year.
And Miriam is going to be coming in late or working from home tomorrow.
I'm coming in late, yeah, because
She's
I'm helping my brother.
I don't even get to have a snow day.
I know, I'm so bummed.
A bunch of people said that they got their SALTT. I noticed that when we were having buffering problems.
I'm so happy.
Carrie says, I received my SALTT today. I had to try the mango flavor first.
Do you love it?
Love it.
I'm so happy.
Sonia says, beautiful snow. We rarely get snow in North Alabama. Well, and rightfully so. You shouldn't be getting snow in North Alabama. So Rick one says, love to watch it snow, but don't get out in it.
I know.
My personal favorite is heavy thunderstorms. We don't get those a lot here.
Yeah, we never do.
And so whenever there are heavy thunderstorms, I enjoy...
Yeah, we just open up the door and stand there and watch.
Yep, just watch. I like thunderstorms when I'm safe.
That's true, because driving down the freeway in a thunderstorm is not the funnest.
Storm Chasing Galaxy says, y'all are so awesome. You sent me the December box. I called and got the January box instead. Yeah, they're apparently... So it was an error with our subscription software.
I'm so sorry.
When we imported the stuff, it shifted people's... The day that they were getting the renewal by a day. So people who were supposed to be getting renewed on the 1st of the month got
the
renewed
31st.
The 31st.
Dang it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm glad you reached out. So if you hear of anybody else that got the wrong box,
if you personally,
please let them know. And you personally, if that is the case, that to reach out to customer services because they will fix it. And we know that that was a mistake.
Unless you like the December box, and then just so you're aware, you'll be getting the January box at the very end of January.
Right, because now you're on the 31st instead of the 1st because it got messed up.
Marion says, had a bad enough storm today in Florida that they canceled all the schools. Didn't hit me very hard. Fortunately, lots of rain and wind.
Wow, that's scary.
Later, Fritz Sater says, woohoo, you're live. Not for lack of trying.
Right? We got this.
GGB says, thunder snow is the best. I've never had thunder snow.
What's thunder snow?
That's where there's a thunderstorm and it's snowing. See, that doesn't happen here.
Wow.
We only get
I want to have a thunder
we get
snow.
rain with thunder, but we never get snow.
We
with
also don't get very many sunny rains. We think that's the
True.
coolest when it's sunshiny and then it's raining at the
Carrie
same
says
time.
a couple days next week. They're supposed to be in the 20s in Texas.
Oh, that's cold.
That's crazy. Kane says, "Hey guys, stay safe from the storm."
Yeah. All of our kids are out, which is so scary to me because they're driving their cars. And I
Okay,
have to
let's
make
see.
sure they get home safe, but I don't have any
What did
control over
Marcia
it.
say? Marcia said something, and I didn't get
Marsha.
the first comment, just the second one.
Okay.
That
Okay.
they had a strong aftertaste, and I was hoping to like it. So I'm not sure what that's in reference
So maybe
to.
it was a flavor that she didn't like.
Yeah.
So Marsha, let us know because we missed the first half of
Let's
the comment.
see. Matt says, Chris, I tried to do a 9-hour print today and got 75% of the way through
No.
before I got a clog in the nozzle.
Sad.
That's terrible. Oh, let's see. Mike says, some people order things with the word salty in the name, then complain about the salt. What's up with that?
It's okay. We can't make everybody happy.
Now, Lady Fritzader says, I had Booyah Berry today in the soda stream with bubbles.
Yummy.
I actually need to try that.
Yeah.
Because my understanding is you need to mix up the salt into a brine, the salty into a brine, and then you can add that to that.
Yeah, I just have done a couple of soda waters and I drank it down and then put it in and then really quickly close the cap.
Miriam, do you know who's on? Our friend from Arizona who gave us purse bacon that we ate while we were frantically driving from
Oh my gosh, Yvette, you
Tucson
can't
to the
believe this.
airport, got to the airport with
And it
3
was
minutes.
the food we ate all day.
Yes, and
was
then
the
we
best.
ate it on our way. Yes, so thank you
Thank you.
because she said, Chapascow, it was good meeting you both, Yvette.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay, so it's
awesome.
spelled E-V-E-T-T-E. I thought it was spelled Y-V.
YV. Yeah, that's what we were trying to find you.
Yeah. Crystal says I like Sunny Rain. Yeah, that purse bacon was fantastic. Anyway, Storm Chasing Gal says Thunder Sleet. Now I got Thunderstruck in my head.
Thunderstruck.
Let's see. Violet says we're supposed to have 9-degree weather by next Wednesday.
Ooh, that's
Thursday.
cold.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Cold, 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 cold.
Let's see. Carrie is apparently closing in on 2 years of no coffee or caffeine.
Nice.
Okay, Later Fritz there says, yes, that's what I did. I made a brine first and then slowly add to the bubble water. Yeah,
Okay.
there you go.
Well, that
Because if you
works.
add salty, the powder, the dry powder,
Yeah, it's really
to carbonated
powdery.
water, well, you've just created nucleation sites.
It's like Mentos and Coca-Cola.
Yes, it is. And so, yeah, you don't want to do that because it's Mentos and Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Mike says it's supposed to be 31 in Las Vegas tonight.
Wow.
Cold enough for a snort of snow.
Snort of snow.
By the way, speaking of
It's
Las
like 30
Vegas,
degrees right now.
we were talking with Dave Feldman, who is going to be doing a conference in Las Vegas
Yes. In March.
coming up in
16th.
March. Now, he had asked me, hey,
33.
Chris,
It's 30
can
degrees.
you do the live stream for the conference?
Right.
And Miriam Vollen told me,
You bet I did.
and her and Sharon, Dave's
It
wife,
was
got
also
together
Joe.
and
Joe also.
yes, Joe also. Well, so talking with Dave, the plans for the Las Vegas conference have kind of changed. I don't know if he's publicly announced this yet, but I'm
So
going to go
maybe
ahead and
you
do
shouldn't.
it. Well, I'm going to go ahead and do it. There won't be a live stream during the Las Vegas conference.
Right.
He's going to have me record it, and I'm going to be live. I'm basically going to be
Editing
live
live?
streaming to disc,
Right.
and then
You mean recording?
recording the disc, but I'm going to be doing the multiple cameras, switching,
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff, like as if I was live
Until
streaming.
Ken Berry talks, and then you'll be like, what? What?
Barry, that guy. Anyway, and then Dave is going to release the recordings. He's going to release the baby, release the Kraken, over a couple of months.
Yeah, and it's his baby, so we're not announcing it ahead of time.
Dave's concern is he really wants people to physically be there.
Yeah.
And he's
it's
like,
going to be cool.
He's like, so if we live stream it, I'm like, yeah, you will cannibalize ticket sales. But he wants people to be able to get the information, which is why whenever we do something, we just live stream it because we're
we just
not
wanna
doing
share.
the conference to make money. we
Which
actually
Dave
lose
isn't
money every time.
probably either.
No, it is a fundraiser for the Citizen Science Foundation.
Yes,
And
but
for those of you who don't know what we're
let's just
talking
show
about,
'em the page.
let's see. Tea?
So,
we go.
but I think you could donate too if you don't go.
Yeah.
So there's always a way to donate,
But
which is good.
the other thing about the doing a live stream, look at all these new ones that are on there. The Carnivore Chat for Women,
Ooh.
VA DCMD meetup, another Carnivore Chat for Women,
Wow.
Metabolic Health Summit. Oh, that was apparently done as a recurring thing.
Looks like it.
I might need to clean that up because it's kind of spamming the page. Yeah, I'm going to clean that up. I'm only going to have a couple of them instead of every single week because that kind of fills up the page. Oh, where was the March one?
It's
March,
not,
April.
No, you're. Oh, it's March 16th.
There it is. I went right past it.
Collaborative Science Conference.
Okay.
That's what it's called?
That's what it's called.
That's funny.
So you can just donate to the Citizen Science Foundation.
Right.
But if with a live stream, people, if you pay for a live stream, you reasonably have an expectation that it's going to work,
Right.
which puts a lot of pressure on the people doing the live stream. And if anything goes
always
wrong,
technical difficulties somewhere.
as evidenced by today, there are always
Always.
technical difficulties. So, I was going to put the link to that into the chat.
Yeah.
So, because of the absolute certainty that there will be technical difficulties during the live stream, and because Dave doesn't want that to be an issue, there's not going to be a live stream, but the recordings will go up fairly quickly. So there you go. That's the news about the Las Vegas conference, and it's so funny. Dave's like, he keeps calling me, asking me questions. He's like, so doing a conference is really hard. I'm like, yes.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yes,
Tell him
it
to call
is.
me instead. I want to talk to him.
Anyway, Yvette says, yeah, it's an E, not a Y. It's not a question. Yvette, there you go. I'm glad you accepted the bacon. Mom heard the shout out. Thanks. That's
Yay.
fantastic. Catherine says, so is it assorted flavors in one bag? If you're talking about the salty, there's a version, we don't have any here. There's a bag that has all 9 flavors.
And it's a bunch of them.
Yeah, a bunch of them. There's a bag that has the 6 fruity flavors, and there's a bag that has the 2 chocolatey flavors. And then there's individual bags that have just the 1 of each.
Yes.
Let's see. Yeah, Jason says they're talking about -20 here in Ontario next week. I think Jason also said that they haven't had any snow yet in Ontario.
Oh, wow.
Let's see. Donna says, yeah, Las Vegas is in the 30s. Oof. Yeah, Laura says, I just added in slow to sparkling water and it works.
Yay.
Janice says the worst of our storm is supposed to be at 11 p.m. with 75-mile-per-hour winds.
Oh, that's crazy cold.
Mike is
Crazy.
hoping to go to the Las
Falling
Vegas
over.
conference. Let's see.
I
And
hope
Sarah
you do
says
too.
it was a stormy evening here in Central
It's
Florida.
just stormy all over the world. What the?
Yeah.
Crazy.
So we're actually going to be going to Florida later this month in like a week and a half.
Yeah.
I'm going for the Metabolic Health Summit.
I'm ditching out of the Metabolic Health
Miriam and Sam are going to come, go scuba diving, and then leave.
Summit. Yeah, we can do whatever we want. Because I'm an adult.
Let's see. Kathy says, I just mixed up the bubbly water with the salty in a big tumbler and then added the rest of the bubbly slowly. There you go.
Perfect.
Let's see. Carrie says he got a bag of grilled meat from Chick-fil-A and then a big can of beef. Nice.
Nice.
Donna is planning to going to the Vegas conference.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Let's see. Juju B says, can I nerd out? My favorite seed company hyped up a new tomato, put it on their cover, limited edition, super expensive. Guess what? It's now unavailable due to circumstances. Like, they didn't even get to release it. That's actually why we don't put stuff up for sale. We don't talk about stuff until
sad.
it's ready.
I'm sorry about that.
Let's see. Faith says, I got my salty order today. I had the Coco Loco in my coffee. So delicious.
Yay.
Thank you both for making keto so easy and tasty. We were talking about next revision of the salty packaging. We're going to put a little mug with steam coming out of it on the chocolate flavors.
Also, speaking of salty, I don't know if people can tell that there is a tear notch. It's a little bit hard. to see. Oh, can you show a picture?
I can.
So it doesn't. It has like the perforation, but it feels like it's in a weird spot. So it looks like it's where
actually,
you shouldn't tear. It's right there. Can
see.
you maybe zoom it in?
Yes. Well,
Zoom it in. That's the variety pack, by the way.
that is the variety
Whoever
pack.
was asking for it. Whoa. There
Okay.
you go.
Right here.
No, it's on the other side. It's
No,
on the
it's right
that's what
along
I'm saying.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a tear notch.
So
and
you
it
tear right there, and then you tear across. It actually works really well and easy.
Yeah.
It seems like it would be hard, but it really does.
and you
work.
can tear from the other side. It
doesn't work as well.
some of them actually have a perforation in this section,
Most of them do. They're
Yeah.
supposed to.
right above the electrolyte drink mix.
Yes, it's just in the picture it doesn't have it.
That's correct. That's because that's not an actual
Sorry,
picture.
that was just
That's a fake picture.
mock-up.
That's a rendering.
That's what it looks like.
Let's see. Bum, bum, bum. Jujubee says, thank you for not getting us all excited like that. Yeah. Let's see. Shauna is here. The keyboard just reversed the scroll
Sorry,
direction.
hi Shauna. Chris wasn't growling because you're here.
No, I'm growling because, so I've got my little keyboard here, and sometimes it scrolls up when I move my fingers up. And then it randomly will decide that moving my fingers up makes it scroll down. And
So then
it's
he's like, Shauna's here.
and now it just reversed itself again.
Like, no. We want Shauna to be here. We love Shauna.
Sharon's got lots of wind and rain.
Oh,
My neighbor's patio
same,
table
same.
flew across the backyard because they forgot to close the umbrella.
Oh,
Glass
I've had that happen
everywhere.
before. We had that happen.
Well, and around here, what happens is trampolines. And apparently trampolines are like a Utah thing.
Are they?
Yes.
Do people not have trampolines?
No, because depending on where you are, in Utah, it's like they're excluded from homeowners policies. But elsewhere in the country, because they're so
dangerous.
they are dangerous, but because there are so few of them, they're considered like an undue enticement or I can't remember the legal term, but basically
enticement.
having one
What?
is too enticing to a kid, to a child, for them to stay away and not break into your yard, trespass, and hurt themselves.
Yes. Well,
It's like having
that's really
a
enticing.
swimming pool.
That's enticing. So when I was a kid, not everybody had a trampoline.
That's
And
true.
so if you were in a fight with somebody, and
You
one of your
can't come
friends,
over and use my trampoline.
then they would say something like, "You're just using me for my trampoline." Do you remember that?
I would.
You had a trampoline.
Not until later on. We did not
but
have
I
a
had-
trampoline at first.
Now it's like every single backyard has a trampoline. You could literally jump from tramp to tramp to tramp. Not really, but pretty much.
Yep,
But we do have a trampoline.
we do.
And ours is heavy enough, it probably won't blow away in this storm. It is a really
Okay.
big rectangle one, and it's super heavy.
Meg says it's currently 27 in Blackfoot. Wow, with a wind chill that makes it feel like 7.
Cold.
Let's see, Barbara says, I had oral surgery on Friday. Thank you for creating Keto Chow. My tummy and mouth are so grateful for these delicious and soothing creations.
Yay!
Okay, Jennifer wants to know how much salty is too much. Diarrhea, I added 1 element to coffee water, 1 coffee pod, Yeah, how much would be too much? I wouldn't have more than 5 or 6 a day, but
I don't think you need that many.
I
though.
don't think that you would need that many.
No.
You should be just fine with 2 or 3.
Yeah.
It kind of depends on how much you need and
Yep,
what other
and
food
how
you're
much
eating.
salt you're having with your food also. And what you're doing, like physically, it has a lot of factors. So if you're out running and sweating, you want more. Or if you're in the gym pumping iron and then you're sweating. Anytime you're sweating, you want more.
Andrew says, my grandson came home today with a big bag of groceries and went to school. About fell on my chair when he pulled out sugary cereal, shelf-stable pudding, and 3 boxes of shells and cheese.
Yeah.
Mike wants to know, if you buy the $1,000 ticket for Dave's conference, does that include a foot massage by Dave?
I'll do it. Dave
I don't
won't.
know. That's a
But
really good
Dave
question.
is really nice, so
Dave
he
is.
might. I mean, he seems like he
Oh,
would
and
do
it was
something like that.
shelf-stable pudding and Jell-O
Oh, yeah.
is what Andrea got. Lisa's here. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa. How are you?
Let's see.
I hope you're doing well.
It just reversed itself again. Stupid keyboard.
Stop being with
Cynthia
the
says,
stupid
I'm watching
keyboard.
Steve with Serious Keto. He's spilling the beans. I'm excited and can't wait.
Oh, yeah. He always spills the beans.
He always does. And I'm always like,
He can't keep his
I'm like,
mouth
dude,
shut.
Steve.
Don't say this out
We've
loud.
actually, his thing, we've had to delay now 3 times
Sorry, Steve.
already. And we
Sorry.
haven't even announced it yet, which is why we don't announce stuff until it's
We don't
ready.
talk about Bruno.
Sean says, with the horrible fingers, I was able to tear Salty open. I really appreciate it. Also, the new packets of Keto Chow Seal.
Yay.
Let's see, Mary T says, winter is coming to British Columbia, but counting our blessings for the warm December that allowed us to travel to Vancouver to see my daughter for Christmas. Snow is
so
here now,
happy.
and -20 coming Thursday.
Thursday,
Wow.
yeah. I think Haley was saying it was minus something, but I think that was in Celsius, and I didn't translate.
Yeah. Linda says, if you're adding a steaming mug, I remember hearing you say that you are kosher also, but it's not on the bags. May help to...
Right.
Yes,
We
actually,
will have it on the next package. It is on the website,
SALTT.com.
though. SALTT.com.
Creature report.
Look at that healthy
Creature
guy.
report. Creature
Creature report.
report. Okay, go to this page.
Wah, wah.
So,
Whoa, all the big circles.
so it's got kosher there, and if you come down here to the FAQ, it's got, is salty powder drink mix kosher? Yes, it is certified kosher parve. And if
I
you
don't
click
know
on
how to
that,
say that.
here is the letter of kosher certification.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, unfortunately, the certification came in.
It came in
Yeah,
after we got the
certification
packages
came
made.
after
that's why.
much of the packaging was
So
already
we
printed.
had it, we had it tested, and then we had to wait a certain period of time.
Yeah, so
So that's why it's not on there, but it will be
it is.
next batch.
Tamara says, I must be challenged in the tear operation. I just use scissors. Hey, there you go.
Yeah, but it is weird because it feels like it's not going to tear right there, but it really
Yeah.
does. So try it and let me know.
Let's see, Jennifer says, I
to
really
it.
love salty over LMNT. LMNT is way too sweet, but I got to use up all the chocolate I
Yep.
have. Got more salty. May have to get more chocolate. So speaking of LMNT, so one of the things
Yes.
I worked on today, so we have our morning meetings with the team,
Which I've been skipping out of. 'Cause
and we talk about our main accomplishment for the previous day and what our primary focus is for the day. And I actually said that my primary focus was working on a bunch of year-end.
But did you get done with that?
Yes.
Then you did it.
But my actual primary focus that I didn't want to tell anybody about until I actually got done with it, I wrote a blog post. It should be published tomorrow, maybe.
Soon?
It compares, it's how does salty electrolyte drink mix compare to LMNT? And it starts off with, hey, we actually like LMNT and we
Yeah.
like the people that
We
make
love
it.
them.
And we think
They're
that it's a great
amazing.
product.
And we have used it and are still
Yes.
using it. I'm not going to throw it away.
You literally have like 6 of them sitting on your desk at
I
work.
literally have them in my drawer, and that is great.
Now, we like our product better. And in the blog post, I go over all the things that differentiate
Yeah.
salty from LMNT.
But
We
that
still
doesn't
think it's
mean
okay.
either of them are bad, right?
Yeah.
And we like Relay too. We love them all, as long as they're sugar-free and have good ingredients.
Yep. Let's see. Jujubee says trampolines are definitely not a Utah thing, but you need an insurance policy on them for kids getting hurt.
Yeah, we don't.
Oh, I pay for it everywhere we have lived.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Let's see. Dennis says trampoline equals moral hazard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt
I
says-
have had quite a few people break their ankles in my history of trampoline
Okay.
life. None on our
Yeah.
married trampolines.
Between Miriam, I, and all of our children, we have a broken toe.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Hey, well, we think it was
It
broken.
probably was. I mean, people break their toes all the time. We probably both have had broken toes. That's just what happens to toes.
Well, Matt says none of my friends had a trampoline when I was a kid. I honestly didn't know anyone with a trampoline.
Yeah, wow.
And
But you know what? Nobody has pools here. I mean, there
Well,
are some pools,
yeah,
but
in our
it's-
neighborhood there are
there are
two.
two in our area.
Let's see. Crystal says my power just came back on. Nice. Let's see. Ann says back in the 70s we used to play hide, seek, and trespass all the time.
How do you play?
Carrie had a trampoline growing up.
Hide, seek, and trespass.
I don't know. Cindy
I
says
don't
we
know
had a
that game.
trampoline in Missouri. What the insurance company doesn't know, but my
I
cousins
know.
in Utah used to sleep outside in it with no tent. I actually
we did
spent
that
an
too.
entire summer
On the trampoline.
where I slept on the trampoline.
You just get up and you move your sleeping bag, and then you have a trampoline again.
And I've said stuff about this to the kids, and they're like, well, whatever. And it also,
We did
one
so
thing I
many
loved to do as a kid, when it would be windy,
Yeah.
you would tie a sheet to your hands and
Bad
feet
idea.
and jump on the trampoline in the wind. And it was
And then
so
that
much
would
fun.
knock you off the side.
No, you would go to the end and jump up in the air and you would fly backwards. And then you'd jump and you'd
I
keep on
wasn't
doing
that little. But we did jump off the jungle gym onto the tramp, and not at my house.
Lynette says apparently my kids like to jump off the roof onto the trampoline.
That's what I was just going to say.
Just when I'm napping or not home.
We did that too, but not at my house because we didn't have one, so we couldn't get in
Yeah.
trouble at my house.
Lynn says, I just want you to know I'm loving chocolate malt. It's one of my favorites now. Wish I bought
I'm so
more.
glad you love it. Thank you for sharing.
Teresa is here.
Hi, Teresa.
Let's see. Exposing Darkness says, I'm in Indiana and my neighbor's trampoline blew into my yard. Oh,
Yeah.
attractive nuisance.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bonnie. That's
That's it.
the
That's
legal
it.
term. It's an
It's an
attractive,
attractive nuisance.
Mary
That's
says, when I was
funny.
in Costa Rica, I was guzzling LMNT. We did too.
We also did that
When we were in Costa Rica. Yes. Let's
it was
see.
amazing.
My friend started doing the same, and she got real sick from too much. She wasn't used to it.
Oh no.
Let's see. GGB says, make him sign an NDA. Spoiling surprises stinks.
Right.
Let's see. Lisa spent the day with grandson while daddy's sick with COVID.
Oh, that's so sad.
By the way, it was 80 degrees today.
Oh
Apparently,
yeah, you're in Florida?
by the way, okay, so there's on the website Lifehacker,
Right.
every week there's a post on, it's like basically the disconnected parents' guides to kids' culture or something like that. And it gives you the lowdown on the hottest stuff on TikTok
Okay.
and kids' culture this week. Last week, the big thing on TikTok was grandparent sleepovers.
Oh, that's so
where
cute.
Here's the thing, it's not the grandkids, it's the children
Sleeping at the parents' house?
and sometimes their kids randomly showing up at their parents' house, their retired parents' house, and saying, hi, we're going to have a sleepover.
Oh my gosh.
Now,
And
some of
there's
them are grandmas, like with the little kids.
Yeah.
But most of it is like fully grown adults showing up at their parents' house and
TikTok
doing
is
a sleepover.
ridiculous.
It is totally ridiculous. And the guy who was writing it is like, he's like, my mom would love it if I did this.
It's probably true. It's probably true.
Anyway, let's see.
Honestly, like my kids, I would probably like that too if they just came and they're like, let's have a sleepover. Everybody on the sofa, blankets.
Andrew says, I
pillows."
bargained with grandson, made him 2 Keto Chow ice creams, and gave him $20 for his price.
Oh,
He
you're
took
so awesome.
Let's see. Loretta says the Pacific Coast Highway near us was closed a bit today with trees down.
Oh,
Strong winds and
no,
rain.
that is
Wow.
scary.
Shauna says salty answers to a higher call. There we go.
Right.
Mike says, just bought the $50 ticket for Dave's thing. I'd buy 2,
Yay.
but my wife would rather do stuff than watch lectures.
What? Well, you can give her a hug from us when we give one to you when we see you, and then you can,
Yep.
yeah.
Anne says, yeah, scrum. Yeah, the stand up in the
stand
morning.
up. Yeah.
Violet says, salty packets have ripped open fine, and others I've had to use scissors with.
Ah, there you go.
Defense who says, I wouldn't survive 5 minutes in one of those meetings. Accomplishment of previous day, I made coffee.
Hey, you know what? If that's the main accomplishment for the day,
Yep.
you win.
Kate in Salt Lake says, one salty works fine in my 40-ounce thermos.
That's
just in
what I
case
do.
anyone was wondering how it is in larger thermoses.
That's what I do. But I always prefer things watered down anyway. So I did 1 element in my 40 ounce, and I did do 1 relight in my 40 ounce. So I think they're all great.
Well, and in the comparison that will be published probably tomorrow,
Probably.
I say that, well, one of the things that most people we've talked to note that for the same amount of water, LMNT tends to have a stronger flavor, sweetness, saltiness, whereas you don't have to use as much water with the salty compared to LMNT. And if you use more water, you can kind of get both of them to the same saltiness.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mike says I like that you don't trash talk the competition. That's awesome. Well,
Yes.
again, we like the people that makes LMNT.
And even if we didn't like them, the product
true.
is great.
Yeah.
And we're all on the same mission to build everybody up.
Yeah,
right?
rising tide raises all ships.
Right. Even if
Andrew
they don't want
says,
to be raised.
I've been off work without pay and go back tomorrow. As soon as I can, I'll be ordering some salty. Okay, great. You do what you do, you. Me speak good.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, Brenda says my kid got a concussion from his own knee hitting his head on a trampoline. Actually, the worst injury in my family was one of my brothers was having a sleepover. My sister was jumping with all of the kids, or all of her older brother's friends. They rocketed her up into the air, and her foot came down on top of a guy's head. And severed her Achilles tendon. Just
popped it right there, huh?
Took it off. And so I don't think she had to have surgery, but she was in a cast and on crutches for like 4 months.
That's a long time.
Yep.
Wow.
Mike says I went to the Rose Parade and totally forgot the bag with the blender bottles. I had to buy some knockoff shaker bottles to have my keto chow.
In 6th grade, I had a crush on a boy who just moved into town from California. And we were jumping on somebody's tramp, and he broke his foot.
Mary says, well,
Probably wasn't my fault.
Your generation and mine were the last generation of feral children.
Right?
You're not wrong. Oh,
we would just be out all day.
Tents now. Ooh.
Oh, that's so cute.
See, Vigil Q says here in old boring Cedar Rapids, Iowa, my late husband used to work for Neeson Trampoline and Universal Gym. So yeah, we had a couple trampolines.
So much fun. I have the little baby trampoline now I got for Christmas, and I love it.
Anne says hide, seek, and trespassing equals running around the neighborhood and going into everyone's backyard. Go outside and play, they said. So we did.
Yes. You know what else we used to do that was kind of dangerous? Do you know how you have like a cinder block wall?
We used to walk on the top.
That's what I was going to say. We had one in our backyard all the way down the street. And so we didn't have to go into the front yard to get to the backyard. You could literally go to the backyards from the fence.
Like multiple houses
And I lost $20, I'm sure, in one of those fences. Because there's just a hole on the top.
Evelyn says we used to jump off our garage roof into the swimming pool.
Oh, yeah, we didn't have a swimming pool.
Oh, Shauna says, I found a sealed box in my garage while I was cleaning. Inside 7 each vanilla cream and strawberry cream. But one vanilla was the old school kind from July. That's awesome.
That's okay. You know what? I'm thinking old school. I'm going to be making some strawberries. Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. I'm going to do
some regular strawberry.
I'm actually going to do strawberry with core and see what that tastes like. Because I've been loving the raspberry.
The chocolate core.
Yes, the chocolate core with strawberry. I've been loving the raspberry cheesecake, so I thought I'd probably want to try that. And then I also am going to make the strawberry chia pudding this week. Because I've been thinking about that. Well,
you can do chia,
I will
and that's
eat
great.
it by myself.
Don't yuck other people's gums.
Yeah, thank you. But anyway, thinking of strawberry, I'm thinking about it a lot, and I'm gonna have that, and it's gonna be yummy.
Donna likes Coco Loco.
Ooh, yum.
And Connie says I got my salty today. So good.
So good.
Lori says I love when my adult daughter comes over for a sleepover.
Oh, so cute.
Let's see. Mary T says I would love it if my daughter showed up for a sleepover.
Perfect.
See.
Can you adopt me? I'll come over for a sleepover.
Matt wants to know if we're going to be at the Keto Orlando Summit this year. It is on our calendar, and we are planning on going.
Yep.
We have that date blocked off, but all I have right now is the date.
Yeah,
I don't know anything more than that.
But we would love to go. And there are a few conferences I'm going to skip out of because I'm going to be with my kids while they're still in the house. True. So if I have to miss some stuff, I will see you next year.
Stephanie says I ordered some salty and keto chow. Both tasted like it was made with love.
It was.
That's the secret ingredient.
That's right.
See, Exposing Darkness says when I make the original creamy, I use 1 packet of keto chow per container. That's what I do as well.
That's what I do too.
Let's see. Jason says looking forward to trying salty in my coffee. That's my favorite way to use the electrolytes.
Nice.
And Lisa Belen Sanchez says keto chow has been the best tasting shake. Every single flavor is increíble.
Increíble.
No, that's not what you did. This is incredible.
Delicioso.
And it also says I had the endless summer. It reminded me of when I would eat a plum with salt sprinkled on it.
That sounds yummy. That's what I'm drinking right now. Endless summer.
Lynn says my next door neighbor's toddler broke his clavicle on my trampoline.
Oh yeah, my brother broke his collarbone twice.
Now here's the thing.
On somebody else's trampoline.
Oh, I have the wrong year in the title. It probably says 2023. It's because I copied an old one. I'll fix it later. Anyway, the clavicles, the nice thing about the clavicle is it's like a tension thing, release, so you don't break other bones instead. It's designed to break. Like, that is the function of the clavicle.
Yeah.
Cynthia says, oh, the double bounce.
Yes. And you know what? I was always the biggest and always the tallest, so I could really bounce people high.
Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. I think it wasn't my fault, the broken ankle thing.
Sean says, proud survivor of a feral childhood. Yep. And Kate in Salt Lake is a feral child of the 50s and 60s. Mike wants to know, is SALTT getting shipped from the same room as Keto Chow? Yes.
Sure
if
is.
So your shippers must be busy.
They're loving life.
They're shipping Keto Chow orders for SALTT and salty.com orders for SALTT.
Yep.
So Mike says you might have to make more tables for shippers. Well, we routinely have quite a few tables that aren't being used still. So, but we did just order a new shipper order.
We ordered a new person.
We just hired a new shipper.
We just ordered a new shipper. We're like, please, can you come from Amazon to our place?
Cynthia says it's strawberry season in Florida. Nice.
Oh, well then you can make the strawberry.
Exposing Darkness points out that chia has oxalates.
I know. I don't eat it very often. But,
Mary would love to adopt you, Miriam. I already love you like family.
Thank you. Can I please come over?
Visual keto. It was a snowy day, so it was a great day for pumpkin sausage soup. Yeah, and it does say 2023. Yeah, that's because I copied an old one.
They made it home safe.
Okay.
I'm so happy. I told him to park in the driveway because, first of all, I'm sorry I interrupted you. This is completely not important at all. If he parks in the driveway, that's less of the driveway he has to shovel tomorrow.
True.
For one. But also, it's going to be easier to get his car out if it's in the driveway.
Except, here's the rub with that. They're going to leave tomorrow morning and just drive over the snow.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to...
No, we'll have him shovel behind his car before he leaves.
Right, that's going to happen.
It's not early morning, it's a regular time.
I know. Patsy says hi from Blackfoot, Idaho.
Hi, Patsy.
And GGB says, Miriam, baby girl, has an appointment at 9 a.m. Fingers crossed. She's sleeping in my bed. And I'm getting up at 2 to check her sugars again.
Oh my gosh.
Something is definitely not right. I fed her 81 carbs for dinner. Whoa, 14-point jump. Oh. 81 carbs was only a 14-point jump?
Honey. We're going to have her in our prayers. Message me, okay?
Lynette says, yeah, we just ordered a new shipper.
Yeah.
Patricia says, when I was a kid, I'd only ever heard the word trampoline. Of course, I'm 90 now, so that might explain it. But Patricia, you know what you had was a giant stride.
Yes, have you seen the giant stride?
The giant strides are legit.
That is so cool.
So it's a pole.
It looks kind of like a maypole.
It looks like a maypole or like a...
like a swing set that
goes around in a circle. And everybody grabs onto a thing, and you run around and then jump into the air and swing around.
And you're like literally on chains. So it's so dangerous. You like have this metal pole. And there was a bottom metal pole too, so you could kind of kneel on it or step on it.
Insanely
or you could be
dangerous.
On the bottom one or the top one.
There's a reason they don't have them around anymore.
Yeah, totally dangerous.
But they were super popular up until like the 50s or 60s.
Yeah.
We found one.
In an old mining town.
In an old, like...
It was so cool.
It was like, there were so many abandoned buildings and there was a random giant stride.
And Chris's mom went ballistic. She's like, you guys have to try this. Look at this. This is what I had when I was a kid. And we're like, what?
Yep.
So we tried it and it was perfect because I think there were 8 spots. And there were 8 of us. So it was fantastic.
Just as my parents' bed was our trampoline.
Oh, yeah.
My sister and I both face planted onto the
What about that song?
Though.
Grandma's Feather Bed. What is that? How does it go?
It's called Grandma's Feather Bed.
That's what I think of.
It's by, is it by John Denver? My mom used to listen to that a lot. Okay. After the supper, we'd sit around the fire, the old folks spit and chew. It was 9 feet high, 6 feet wide, soft as a downy chick. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I remember that song. Let's see.
We're going to listen to that
Donna
with the kids
says,
after this.
you can buy SALTT at the storefront. At the meetup.
Yes,
you can.
Which, speaking of Dave Feldman, he is coming to Salt Lake in February on the 24th for our meetup, which we keep not talking about. So if you want to brave the weather, come and see us in February, and you'll see Dave, and I think Cynthia Thurlow is coming, and Christy Davis of the Keto Village. So
There was some discussion as to whether we didn't know if Cynthia was actually coming, and you weren't there to answer the question.
yeah, well, I am now.
Storm Chasing Gal says, you two just work from home. No, we don't. I mean,
I know
we work
lots
all the
of people
time.
do. We work sometimes when we're home, like right now.
Supposing Darkness says there used to be a trampoline place that rented them. We have a bunch
That
of
rent-
trampoline places
Oh,
around here.
that you just go to and jump.
Yeah.
And then you have to sign a liability waiver that you're not going to sue them.
GGB says, yeah, 81 simple carbs, 14-point jump only, not normal, not normal at
no,
all.
no.
And she's only 80 pounds. Wow. Visual Q says, yeah, those circular swings were great. Giant stride.
Yes.
Um,
I'm too accident prone for this conversation.
just Jason says the things they used to put in playgrounds, but they were fun.
Yeah, do they even have
They were
merry-go-rounds
fun.
anymore?
No, they don't.
That was when I was
They're
a
too
kid.
dangerous. In fact, they barely have the things you climb on anymore.
Yeah.
Defense says, I was just going to say, you need a bubble wrap to be here, Shauna. Yeah.
Yeah.
Defense says,
come
John
in,
Daver,
come in.
yay.
Max and I have an interesting story.
Do you want to tell the live stream?
Yes, we
But yet again, I have to get
All right, you
like
have to
right,
get right here.
here.
For reals, just kind of sit right here on the ground.
But the
then you have to get
microphones are
closer.
on Mom and I, so.
Okay, what are you going to say? Did you almost get hit by a car?
No.
Did you almost hit a car?
No.
Okay, tell us your story.
So, when we were
Look at the
I'm still out of frame.
He's out of frame.
look at the camera.
There you go. There you go. You just got your face right there.
And talk real loud.
You have to talk loud.
So when we were making a right turn and we were like pulling over to the side to go into our street,
It's not going to focus.
I slid into the curb.
But
Oh,
that's
don't-
not bad.
Yeah.
Did you pop a tire?
No.
I don't
Well,
think
it doesn't
so.
look like it.
Okay.
So we are turning right in front of the sign that, hey,
Yeah.
I'm selling this house.
Oh.
And right in front of the fence. And hit the
Okay.
curve and just went.
And just went. But that's how you learn how to drive
Yeah,
in the
there's-
snow is
there's
by
only one-
slipping. If you don't know, if you don't slip, you'd never know how to get out of it.
My mom always got mad at me for going into church parking lots and deliberately doing donuts. And I'm like, Mom, there's only one way to learn. Anyway.
By goofing off.
And when we were
Yes.
going up the driveway, because there was a bunch
Didn't
of cars.
get much sleep, but we had a lot of fun on Grandma's
Grandma's
feather bed.
featherbed.
Anyway, go ahead, Sam.
When we were going up the driveway, now I'm afraid.
Yeah, there you go.
When we were going up the driveway, Max stopped like halfway up the driveway and then started again,
And his wheels turned.
and we started sliding backwards, and
Because
then
I was like stopped.
Yeah.
and then he started hitting the gas more, and then we just went up.
I'm glad you didn't hit the garage door.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody's saying hi to you guys.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're safe.
Wow.
But did you die?
But did you die?
No.
Is there air? You don't know. Let's see. Crystal's making a chocolate toffee keto chow with bacon
Okay,
fat.
bye guys.
Wow, okay. See, I tried it with bacon fat and didn't really like it very much. Yeah, Cynthia says, slippery snow. John says, I learned to drive in the snow on an old Air Force runway we lived behind. There you go.
Oh, wow.
Visual Keel likes snow donuts.
Yeah, and I was worried a little bit because Max has driven in the snow, but it was last season, and he's still a fairly new driver. So I'm like, you gotta drive in the snow before you remember how to drive in the snow.
Yes,
And
the
it's like
first time is always the
This
worst.
is like the first.
First real
We've
bad one
had
this season.
snowstorms this year, but nothing stuck to the ground. So
Yep.
this is the only thing that's cold enough to make it slick. So it's like it's dark, it's slick, and it's windy.
Yep.
So it's kind of like a perfect storm,
Mary says, Miriam, I was literally typing, that's how you learn to drive in the snow.
right?
And Mike says, you're not an expert snow driver until you do a 360 and keep on driving without hitting anything.
Right, and I have done that before.
Defensewood says, it's a rule in church parking lots to learn how to do donuts.
Yep.
Yeah, and drive too.
Yep.
Let's see. Bonnie says in northern Alaska that they did a very high blanket toss. It was a way to get up high and see Elda whale, if a whale was nearby. People do all sorts of fancy jumps now. Really?
Wow.
So like the indigenous people would do that to check for, wow.
Oh
okay.
my gosh, that's freaky.
Matt says doing donuts in the snowy parking lot was a way to learn how to drive. Yep.
Yep,
Everybody's glad that the bear kids are home.
I am too. We've only got one more, actually two
She
more
just
out.
came in. One just came in the front door.
But, oh, okay.
And for some reason they thought it was locked, and so they were hitting the code.
I just want to know if it was
unlock
the driving or the non-driving.
Joe says, missed out on taking a spin on the Ford Performance track near Park City when I got my last card. I'm locked
Oh,
down.
yeah, bummer.
Let's see. Ann says it hasn't snowed near New York City in years. We need an insane amount of snow.
Yeah.
Cindy wants to know how you doing.
Oh, I'm so good. How are you?
Marion says, I've never driven in the snow and have no plans to ever try it. It's funny to me when it snows in the place that's used to snow and everyone's like, okay. And then it snows heavy and people are like, well, we've got 6 inches of snow, so everyone be safe out there. And then you have a skiff of snow in like Georgia and people are losing their minds.
Yeah, we had a friend who lived in New Mexico who used to live here, and she said they got like 2 or 3 days of snow days when they just had like a little tiny bit. Which is, we have more now.
We don't have snow days anymore. We have remote learning days.
Yeah, which is actually, I mean, it's a bummer that they don't get snow days anymore. But it's kind of nice that they can just stay home.
Supposing Darkness is at a long drive to work back when it was only rear-wheel drive, scaring the snow.
Yes.
Unless you're having fun.
Rear-wheel drive is kind of nice in the snow, depending on where you're at. We had this
I prefer four-wheel drive.
at our other house. We were on a little hill, so like our yard was like a hill. Our driveway was like super steep. And if you could...
Well, no, front-wheel drive was nice, because if you could get your front wheels into the dry garage,
oh yeah, then it could go
you could pull yourself up.
You're right,
but
it was hard with the new... It was hard.
Our new car was rear wheel.
I was thinking backwards.
Adam says, I'm assuming you take magnesium before bed. What's the dosage and time of consumption before sleep?
I do. I take one of the pills, one of the magnesium capsules, and then I do a dropper full. It's actually not even a dropper full because I just squeeze it one time, so it's probably like this much, maybe milliliter, in a little glass of water, and then I drink that with my pills. And I just take supplements at night.
I take 3 magnesium capsules unless I've had a salty that day, and then I only take 1.
Yes, so it's varied per person. But what we've noticed with magnesium is if you get too much, it will flush out of you. So one thing that Kimberly has said before to us and other people is just keep upping the dose a little bit until you get diarrhea and then back it off.
Yes.
So there's something.
Mary T. snowbled all the way to work today. First car on the road. It's a fun drive when there are no other cars.
Yes.
Shauna prefers snow in other people's pictures.
Yeah, I love that too.
B-Doc says we lose our mind when it snows here in Texas. And Loretta points out, when donut eating in the parking lot, make sure there are no telephone poles or lights. Yes.
Yes.
Let's see. And Ann says they don't have the infrastructure in Georgia to salt or plow. Yeah. I know.
That's the thing.
I just think it's funny.
It's just,
Neely says a skiff of snow shuts down everything here in the Portland area.
Yeah.
Well, and rightfully so. I think the videos of when it snows in Portland and the buses are going backwards down the street.
Oh my gosh, that's terrifying.
Oh man, those are pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Crystal says, us Georgians rebuke the snow. I rebuke you!
Yeah.
Yes, and Storm Chasing Gal says, I'm on a hill, and when it's icy, it's a scream to see folks attempt to drive.
That's when you're like, I'm not parking on the street because I don't want my car to get hit, right?
Let's see. Marianne says we had an ice storm here in 1989 in Jacksonville. I went to Fort Lauderdale, so I wouldn't have to deal with it. Let's see. Ellen Meg says I have 200 pounds of cinder blocks in the back of my truck right now. Helps to keep it stable. I prefer not to have too much excitement in my life. We would use tubes of sand.
You put it in your car? So
we would put a tube of sand in the back of the car every time.
I never thought to do that.
Okay.
Oh, you're finally going to get to the questions now that everyone's home?
So the number one thing I wanted to talk about tonight, the number one, if I can get the, oh my gosh.
I don't know what you're going to talk about tonight.
I'm trying to get this
to
to scroll so that I won't. There we go. Okay. Is natural flavors.
Right.
So we had someone reach out to us. They had questions about the natural flavors that we're using in, well, salty to be specific.
Yes.
But just in general. And so I wrote a blog post because I started to write a response to this one person. And I'm like,
I'm going to write this for everyone.
I'm just going to write a blog post. Well, it's actually an FAQ, frequently asked questions. So the question is, what are in the natural flavors? Are we using that term to hide sugar or maltodextrin? So in short, no, we do not use natural flavors or artificial flavors to hide ingredients in our products. Now, first things first, and I will put this link.
It's so many words. Where's the
It
pictures?
is. There are no pictures. No pictures whatsoever.
Honey, I want to see a picture.
Nope, no pictures. There are no pictures at all. So, first
Fine.
things first
Read the
is
words.
the difference between a natural flavor and an artificial flavor is where it comes from.
Right.
If a compound is created in a lab or a process using other compounds to create it, it's artificial. If
Okay.
it comes from nature, even if it's modified
Yeah.
significantly, that's natural. To put it a different way, if you take water from the ocean and distill it
Yes.
to make desalinated water, that is natural.
Because it's still water from the ocean. That makes sense.
Yeah. If you take a fuel and burn it, creating carbon dioxide and water vapor, technically that water was created by a chemical process,
Okay.
burning, and you have artificial H2O.
Okay.
Okay?
So that's a good example.
That's the difference between natural flavor and artificial flavor.
Okay.
They're all using chemicals. It's just, were those chemicals derived from a plant or animal source or a naturally occurring compound, or was it created in a lab? That sort of thing. Okay.
Right.
Now, the USDA, FDA, and FTC allow manufacturers in the United States to straight up hide small
There's a space right
ingredients.
there.
Yeah, there does need to be a space. It's because it's italic.
Yeah.
To hide small ingredients under the umbrella of natural flavor, but also under artificial flavor.
Yeah.
Both of them can do it. It's legal, it's common, and it's a jerk thing to do. Okay?
Yeah.
And it's prevalent enough that some people who have a voice will tell those that listen to them that you need to avoid anything with the ingredient natural flavor.
Yes.
And you will also sometimes on the internet, you'll see lists of names of sugar,
Natural flavor.
and one of those will be natural flavor because, hey,
You can.
some people use that, some manufacturers will do that. Now, artificial flavor has the same potential for abuse.
Right.
It isn't any better, but it really comes down to how much do you trust the people making a product?
Right.
Okay. We hope that we will prove ourselves trustworthy. We work exceptionally hard to make sure that none of our products have any maltodextrin at all.
Ever.
And it's used a lot in the manufacturing industry to turn liquid flavors into a powder.
Yes.
It works as a binding agent and as a bulking agent. They love to use it. It's difficult and expensive to use something besides maltodextrin. We
Yeah,
use
it costs
acacia
more.
gum.
To
Yeah.
do that. Also, even when we've got flavoring, sometimes when we request to have like a sugar-free version, they still send us the wrong thing. So we have to make sure we look carefully at the labels and we say, okay, this is what we ordered. This is what we're going to try. And then we also check the natural flavors
Yep.
too to see what's in there.
We basically have to stomp our feet and throw a fit like a petulant child.
It is hard to get that information.
So now we finally arrive at what exactly is in the natural and artificial flavorings that we use.
Yes.
Okay, so we can easily tell you what isn't in them. It's harder to say what is in them because the flavor manufacturer that we use and pretty much everybody else uses similar manufacturing
Yes.
partners. They don't have to divulge the exact specific components that they use.
Right.
Like they're not going to. They will not say we use this much
and this.
extract from lemon. We use this much extract from this other thing, because those.
It's a matter of proprietary.
Yeah, it's a trade secret.
And that's what sets them apart from other people. If their thing is better, then they want to keep it a secret. Just like a recipe, I mean, of course we want to share recipes, but if you want your recipe to be yours, then you don't share it with anybody else. So that's...
And they, as the manufacturer, even though we order the flavor from them, they own that.
Yeah.
And they won't even tell us what's in it. And because the FDA allows them to if it's under a certain amount,
Yes, and it has to be under a certain amount.
they are able
be
to say
it's natural or
just
artificial
natural
flavors.
flavor. And we're like, what do you mean natural flavor? And they're
Mm-hmm.
like, sorry, we won't tell you. We're like, okay, hold on a second. So what we can do though, and ours is actually really good about this.
Yeah.
If someone has a concern about a particular ingredient, like for an allergy,
Right.
we can go to them and say, hey, like for instance with the pistachio flavor, we can say, okay, I'm allergic to pistachio nuts. Does the pistachio flavor used in Keto Chow contain?
Have actual pistachios.
Yeah. Does it have the proteins from those nuts? We can go back, we can say, hey, does this have it? It takes a few days, and then they usually get back to us with an answer.
Yep.
In the case of the pistachio, the answer was that the natural flavors do not contain any actual pistachio, and so it's safe for people with pistachio allergies. Pina colada, on the other hand, does contain actual pineapple,
Yeah.
which was interesting.
Yeah. Also,
So-
that's a spelling error too.
What?
However.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
We are amazing.
I should really have a proofreader go through
Yeah,
these.
you
Anyway,
should.
so there you go. It's a bit of a long discussion about natural flavors, but I hope that we've explained it well enough for people to understand that, number one, we are very concerned about making sure that people are getting stuff that doesn't have junk in it.
Mm-hmm.
We use Keto Chow ourselves. We don't want
We
maltodextrin
don't
in our
want any
product.
junk.
And unfortunately, we're a bit hamstrung by the term natural and artificial flavors. We don't have a clear, specific, like, insight into the exact components that make those up, other than they give us a certification saying it does not contain all of these
things.
allergens
Yeah.
and that sort of thing. And in order to be sold within the United States,
It has to
meet certain
requirements
criteria.
Anyway. And then when we order it in the first place, we say we want it to be sugar-free. It needs to
Yes.
not have this.
can I have maltodextrin? Has to use acacia gum.
No dextrose.
And a bunch of other restrictions that we impose upon them.
Yes.
But there
still,
you go. Okay, let's see. Let's catch up with the comments a bit. Let's see. GGB uses kitty litter for increased traction with the increased weight.
Oh, well, we use salt.
B-Dog says the caramel vibes warm is amazing. I'm beef butter, bacon, and eggs with my salty. It's so good right now. Matt says, science class with Mr. Bear? Yes. Except I can't do the science class with Mr. Bear while we're on the other screen.
Nerd.
Shauna says, I'm with Miriam. Pics. We need good pics or at least a diagram.
Boring words.
Defense says you state on the site that there's a possibility that seed oil may drip into Keto Chow. That's specific flavors.
Yes.
Pretty sure the last thing you're going to do is try to hide sugar or maltodextrin. Yeah, there's actually a link to that article about does Keto Chow contain canola oil,
Right.
or does it contain
Seed oil.
seed oils?
Yeah.
I believe that link
Search
is
the FAQs and see if you can
right.
find it.
It's right here.
What?
Does it have canola oil or sunflower? Short answer is it's on the ingredients, but not on the actual packaged product. There has to be a food-safe oil used in the manufacturing process to lubricate the machines. Now we're making sure that it only uses MCT, but some of the flavors were the old type. But we're swapping those out. By the way.
Okay, but I'm just saying, we could technically say
Oh.
that as natural flavors.
Yeah.
We could have that be included. So it's actually better business practice to have that be included as natural flavors,
We could have hit it.
and then everybody wouldn't have to ask about it all the time. But
Yep.
we are trying to be honest and say, hey, there's a possibility in this machinery that one tiny drop or whatever might end up in here, and I want you to know that that's a possibility.
Yep.
You know, so it's, yeah. There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Meg says my dad used to put those huge burlap bags that would hold 100 pounds of potatoes full of sand
Nice.
in the back of family vehicles along with a small shovel every winter.
Yes.
There you go.
We should carry a shovel. What a good idea.
We have one. My parents gave me one, and we bought one when we were in
but
Breckenridge.
do I have one?
I don't know.
Well.
Felix says I'm taking notes. You don't need to. It's on our site.
Yeah, right?
In fact, if you search for maltodextrin in the search on the blog, you will find that article.
Yeppo.
Let's see.
Excuse me. I'm
Brenda
so
says
sorry.
that commenter must have been a Bobby fan, right?
Right.
I used to have the Bobby app. Bobby is very entertaining, and you just need to watch with the filter.
So it's funny, anytime anybody says Bobby, we had a kid that was my age who lived next door, whose name was Bobby. And so every time I hear Bobby, I hear, why Bobby? Because everything
he would always say
Bobby
why.
said was why. Like,
But
do you do this?
why?
But why? Why? And so that's what our family said was,
Why,
why
Bobby?"
Bobby? Like, oh, poor Bobby.
Visual Keto says, this is why I love you guys in Keto Chow. You're honestly trying to make a really clean product that you
Thank
actually
you.
use. Yeah, we do actually use
We
it.
are trying.
Okay, Kelly has a great question. Would you suggest a non-keto person make Keto Chow with a suggested amount of fat?
Sure.
Or would that be too much when consuming with a standard American diet? So there isn't a suggested amount of fat in Keto Chow.
Yeah, we just have here's a good idea for you to try it out.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily the right fat for everybody.
Yeah, like we on the mixing recommendations, it's like if you don't know how much to use,
Try this.
use a half cup of heavy cream. But then from there, you're supposed to figure it out for your requirements. The minimum amount is 10 grams of fat per serving.
Yep.
So I would at least use that much. One thing I wouldn't recommend is you do high fat, high carb.
Yeah.
That is a recipe for disaster. If you're going to have a Keto Chow and you're on a standard American diet, make sure you're not eating carbohydrates with that meal and you're giving yourself 8 or more hours between meals so that you can have your insulin come down, because it probably isn't a good idea to mix the two. Let's
There
see.
you go.
Mary says, when I recommend Keto Chow, I'm recommending the integrity of the company as much as the product.
Thanks.
There are meal replacement options everywhere, but it's your company and the people in it that
You're
make
so
it exceptional.
nice.
Cynthia says, we all know who you're referring to, but he's not the only one. Marianne says, I had
the
to
only one.
ask that question to LMNT about grapefruit because actual grapefruit messes with one of
Yep.
my prescriptions. Oh, and theirs is safe.
Oh, good.
It's great.
Yeah. I think you asked about our grapefruit too when we had the guava grapefruit.
Guava grapefruit. Yep.
And we looked it up. I remember.
Cindy says, I wholeheartedly agree about the integrity of Chris and Miriam and everyone at Keto Chow.
You're so nice.
Marcia says, I mixed up my mango salty into my pina colada Keto Chow shake.
That's a good
and blended
idea.
with 12 ice cubes. It was delicious.
I love
Wow.
it. I love it so much.
Joe points out that Sam's Club and Costco both have 2 packs of small folding aluminum shovels.
Oh, nice.
Storm Chasing Gal wants to know if we've gone sledding. We have not gone sledding yet
We haven't
this
had
year.
snow yet. I mean, we've had tiny bits of snow, but it melts so fast because
This
it hasn't been
weekend-
below.
This weekend,
We should go.
there might be enough snow. Now, my favorite kind of sledding,
Is mountain sledding.
no, it's road sledding.
Oh, you're right.
So I will drive to the office, get the truck with the 4-wheel drive.
Let's just go back to the office parking lot. That's a big parking lot.
Yeah, but they need to plow it, and I'm not going to mess with their
But
parking
what
lot.
if they? But what if?
And then you get the kids behind you, and they're all piled into the back of the truck, and you go
Yes.
around the parking lot or
So
just
fun.
just down
we
the road.
we just do down the road, but the snow has to stick. Is the thing.
Yeah, you have to have
If the
at
snow
least
doesn't stick,
like 6 inches of snow.
you can't road sled. But we could
Road
if
sledding is
if
amazing.
it's not on
Bumper
the road.
skiing. There you go.
If it's not on the road, then we can go over to the mountain and
Yeah.
sled.
Okay, here's another question for you, Miriam.
Okay.
Kimberly had a great question.
I know her.
So, if I want to use MCT oil and heavy whipping cream, both, how much MCT oil should I use?
So with MCT oil, you have to also know your body for one. I wouldn't do more than a tablespoon because
I
it's
would
going to go
start
through
with a
you.
teaspoon and go from there.
Yeah.
But never more than a tablespoon.
Because it
a
really
meal.
goes through you. If you want a laxative, there you go. MCT oil is good.
Oh boy.
But we have,
Clean
when
you
we
out.
first started making Keto Chow, we were adding MCT in with our heavy cream. And it was like, it probably was a tablespoon.
Yeah. We don't do that anymore because MCT messes with my triglycerides and my
Yes.
HDL. It makes them go the wrong way. MCT is great if you are trying to, if you need therapeutic
Yeah,
levels of
higher
ketones, but MCT won't make you lose fat quicker.
Faster.
It's good for brain health and it's good for some other stuff, but it can cause complications in your lipid system.
At least that is with Chris.
And with Beverly as well.
Okay.
It also crashed her HDL and made her triglycerides go
Right.
up also. So we don't generally recommend MCT, but you can use it if
Yep.
you need to.
And our daughter occasionally will use it.
Yeah. Like if you're treating depression or Alzheimer's or things
Epilepsy,
like that,
Alzheimer's.
having higher ketones is amazing.
Yep.
And definitely recommended. Okay, a different Kimberly
I know her.
said, I'm a convert. I'm drinking my first hot keto chow.
yay.
You guys convinced me. It's unbelievably scrumptious. I'm going to drink them like this for the next few months while the temps are so cold.
Yeah, that's such a good idea.
And as a follow-up to that, Lynn said, okay, well, how do you do that? I pre-make mine, so would I just heat it up?
Yep. I just put it right into a mug into the microwave, although you have to be careful because it'll explode like butter because it has butter in it or whatever.
Yeah, well,
So
it'll
you just
boil
need
over.
Yeah, you need to make sure that if you do it for a minute, you stir it and then put it back in.
Yeah, so I
You
will...
can't do it for like 3 minutes at a time.
I'll have a blender bottle full of keto chow, and I'll pour that into a mug, microwave it for a minute, pour it back into the blender bottle. So it's now mixed with the cold,
Yes.
the remaining keto chow. Then back into the mug, microwave it again, back into the blender bottle, and then sometimes a third time, back into the mug.
Yeah.
And you like to drink yours out of the mug.
I know, it's so much cuter.
I put mine back into the blender bottle, wash the mug, and put it away. And then,
Although I have
Yeah.
been putting it back into the mug and into the blender bottle and then just drink it out of the mug because
okay.
I've noted, and then I have the mug extra hot and then I sip a little and then put a little bit of the not as hot keto chow from the blender bottle into it and stir it a little bit. I think I just really like the experience of holding the mug and feeling its warmth and having my tiny little cute straw and I'm just like, so lovely.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Says,
Yvette.
Yvette says, I've been playing around with adding keto chow to my coffee. I think my favorite so far is with banana keto chow. Sounds odd, but it's unexpectedly
I'm so
pleasant.
glad you like it.
Yeah, there you go.
It doesn't matter what other people like. If you like it, it's great.
Jujube on opening day of SALTT accidentally got the fruity instead of all the things. Our customer service fixed it. And,
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Summer Chasing Gal says, on my hill when the kids sled is a totally normal Rockwell, love their laughter.
Nice.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
you know what? We might need new sleds actually. Oh shoot, we should have gone before today. Because ours are in the backyard,
Yeah,
like gonna be under the snow.
that's okay.
But I
it's
think
their
they're cracked.
responsibility to find them because they didn't put them away.
I
Guess
think
what
they're-
happens when you don't
I
put
think
stuff
they're
away?
Broken. Oh, sorry.
Anne says, isn't that the same as donuts, snow sledding? So
Except for you're on a
donuts
sled.
are where you have a rear-wheel drive vehicle with traction control turned off, and you peel out and do
You
circles.
spin around in the
Yeah.
parking lot when you're driving like a crazy person.
And I sometimes do that while
And I
I'm
don't think
pulling
I've-
kids behind me.
No, that's bad. That's
No,
a bad idea.
I do it all the time.
No, don't tell
Yeah.
me that. I don't want to hear that.
But
I
here's the
don't wanna hear
thing.
that.
When we're doing the road sledding, usually in a parking lot, I'm going 5 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I'm going slow
But if you
enough.
spin yourself enough to make a donut, then they could get run over by the car.
No, because they're behind. They're
But
flying.
cars
they're-
drive faster than kids on sleds.
Okay. You'd have to see it. Anyway,
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
let's see. Patty says I make mine warm and drink it right away. That's another good way to do it. And it says I just did 2 bottles of water with the Booyah berry. Anyway,
Nice.
I think the chocolate in coffee is my favorite so far.
Nice. I can't even remember what the chocolate tastes like. I only had it when we tested it.
B-Duck says I always use melted butter, so I just drink it hot.
Yeah.
There you go.
I love it.
Sean says I love my keto chow hot, so I make a full keto chow and use my coffee for the liquid.
Oh, yeah.
Lynn says I always put mine in coffee in the morning, extra treat.
So good.
Sharon says banana keto chow makes good chunky monkey ice cream.
Oh, yeah. I love Chunky Monkey.
Cynthia likes the blueberry pie and coffee. Stephanie says I plan to either add keto chow or chocolate salty to my coffee tomorrow. I can't wait.
Yay.
Sean says it's Bear Family. It's a Bear Family snow game. Find the sleds.
Yeah.
Let's see,
I know
Marie,
right where they are. I just
Marie
think they're broken.
is here and says salty's so good.
Marie,
Really
how
enjoyed
are
the Coco Loco and caramel vibes in my coffee in the morning.
Oh, I'm
Nice.
so glad.
Defense Swiss says the 2024 safe play discussions
Yes,
night, right?
yes.
And Marianne uses a frother to make keto chow hot. Melt butter
nice.
and some water in a mug. Froth, add powder. Froth, add rest of water. Froth, quick and yummy.
Nice.
Guess what? Joe Ray just showed up.
Joe Re Mi Fa Sol La Keto.
Says, good evening. I'm finally
How
getting
are
my
you?
husband to make keto chow. Nice.
Yay.
I've never met him before. I had to walk him through how to make it step by step. It's not that complicated.
Yeah,
well, except
but
the
it's
first
nice
time you
to-
do it, you don't want to mess it up.
It's nice to not mess it up.
Storm Chasing Gal says, I've had the
Hi,
same
Lynn.
sled I used as a child.
Oh,
I actually
that's so cool.
had my childhood sled.
The like wood one.
No, the blue Coleco one.
Oh, we had that.
We had
Yeah.
that, and the kids ruined it pretty early
Well,
on.
They ruined things. That's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
It's part of childhood, right?
Let's see. Okay. Last question.
Last
If you
question.
are unable to finish a full serving of keto chow, maybe you had weight loss surgery, or you're using a medication that limits your appetite,
Right.
could you split a serving into 2 meals? Would you use less fat? What's your recommendation?
I think you could definitely have it into 2 meals. I would not necessarily use less fat. I mean, you could use less fat, but just like with the gastric bypass.
Yeah, with the
you
gastric
can't-
bypass,
you
I would
can't drink
use
that
less
much.
fat.
You can also use less water so that
Yeah.
you get more of the nutrients. It will be saltier, but salt is delicious.
Probably thicker.
Yeah.
But that's actually why I would, my recommendation would be to see if you can get it so that you can finish an entire one.
Yeah, so use less water and less fat,
Yeah.
and then drink it over like an hour period of time, probably something like that.
Yep.
It's up to you to experiment.
Now you could split it into 2. This particular person said they were only able to down like 8 ounces at a time.
Oh wow!
And so they're like, because they're on a medication that limits their appetite and they're just full.
Yeah.
I would see the reason why I would recommend using less fat in that case. It's the same reason why if you've had a gastric bypass, using less fat so that you can get the additional protein, because you need to prioritize protein
Yeah.
and get those other nutrients. Fat is more of a lever. You can kind of play with that to hit your satiety, but if you're not getting enough protein and if you're not getting enough of the vitamins and minerals, that can be problematic. And each serving of keto chow is supposed to give you roughly a third of your nutrients, except for the
Right.
fat and sometimes the protein. But it's like 26 grams of protein per serving, which is a good amount. But
Yeah.
if you're having to limit your caloric intake because of whatever reasons, then lowering the amount of fat is probably the best way to go.
Yeah. And less water too.
And less water.
And
yeah.
then what you could do is not have more keto chows, just have like 5 or 6 meals, and then just have them, in half if you needed to do that.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Yep. Cindy is missing keto chow, doing carnivore only.
yeah.
Wants to know if it's February yet.
That's okay.
Sean says
I'm
my
glad you're doing that. Good job.
My first and last snow skiing appearance, I came off the lift, 3 people down and some guy's hat on the end of my ski.
That's so
That's
funny.
amazing. Let's see. Stephanie says I wake up at 5 and I was going to use my loud immersion blender at 5 a.m. Never thought to use my quiet frother. Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Now, you should use a Ninja Creamy at 5 a.m.
Oh,
That's
wow.
the way to
That's
do
the
it.
best.
Oh, Joe Ray told him to use warm water because he was using butter. I was like,
Yes.
he was like, how warm? Do I put it in the microwave? How long do I put it in the microwave?
Like just warmer than cold.
Yeah. I do a stick and a half of butter because I'm doing 3 meals at a time. And for me, that takes about a minute in the microwave to melt that amount of butter.
Yep.
Anyway. Well, should we go say hi to the kids?
Yeah.
Thank you everybody so much for joining us.
That was fun. Sorry, I'm super goofy today.
Super goofy.
Super goofy.
Let's see, was there something? Okay, we do have our live stream on Monday, so
Yeah.
we will be back on Monday to do that.
To alive.
And we will
Back to
see you all then.
reality.
Have a great evening and enjoy the snow.
Bye.